This is in reference to the murder that occurred yesterday on Blanding Boulevard at the post office. Our victim in that case was Harold Davis, a white male, 23. He apparently was up there retrieving his mail from the post office when his ex-girlfriend, Arianne Myles, a black female, 22, saw him in the parking lot. She pulled her car behind his, retrieved the weapon from the back seat, went out, confronted him, shot him numerous times, killing him. At that point, she got back in her car and fled north on Blanding Boulevard. We had a retired Jacksonville Sheriff's Office sergeant was across the street, I believe at the Walgreens. He heard the shots, looked and saw her get into her vehicle and take off. He got in his vehicle and followed her up Blanding, called 911, relayed the information to the dispatcher and the car description, the direction they were heading, and finally patrol units got behind her. There was a brief pursuit, and she crashed her car at Seaboard and Timaquana. And at that point, police were able to take her into custody. During either the crash or taken into custody, she suffered a broken arm. Currently, she has been charged with murder. She's absentee booked, and we have not talked to her yet. She's still over at the hospital, so when she's released, we will attempt to talk to her.
Was the guy from Walgreens in a marked car, or is he in a regular car?
Regular car. He was a retired.
Do we have a name on that sergeant?
It was Mark Schoonover.
Right there.
Any other questions?
It wasn't the same guy that shot the last people. He shot last 4 people.
He was retired.
Yeah.
Is there a history between these two that you know of?
Is there any domestic?
They apparently had broke off their relationship several months ago.
Okay.
And from that point to now, they've seen each other periodically, basically just for him to get his property back from her. And like I said, the reason for yesterday's actions, we won't know until we talk to her.
Can you recover the murder weapon and everything?
Yes, it was a 45 caliber.
She'll be in court when she's out of the hospital, I'm guessing?
Yeah, she'll have the first hearing.
Didn't she hit somebody?
She did. She collided with a car right there at Timaquana and Seaboard, and at that point, the police were able to box her in with their cars. And
any info on those victims and injuries?
They were fine. They were fine. I believe it was a woman and a child, but they were fine.
There's been a lot of domestic violence over the last, over the weekend. Can you speak to that at all? Just as
no, I can't. I don't know what the spark, why it spiked up here. I know Clay County's having incidents. We're having incidents. It's everywhere.
Any post office video of the incident?
No, there was none.
Does she have a record or a concealed weapons permit?
I don't believe so.
Okay.
Yeah,
No local record.
I don't believe she had a weapons permit.
Do we know why they ended their relationship at all?
That we haven't got to that yet. No. And like I said, until we talk to her, find out more. There was a witness in the car with her who basically, when she did the shooting and fled, that person stayed behind at the scene and waited for police.
Is that person going to be charged?
No, we believe she had no knowledge that was going to occur.
She stayed behind with police, or did she remain in the car when the shooting
No,
happened?
she got out of the car and stayed there and waited for police to get there.
But did she call 911 at all, or?
She did. I believe she tried to, and there were several people that witnessed this.
Any other questions?
Was at Sylvan Court at that homicide call? Do you have any information I had to pull out of that to come here?
No.
No. I don't
Any other questions?
Did the witness in the car tell anything about the moments leading up to that decision? Was this something that she was following him and she knew he was going to be at the post office, or was it a last-minute thing where she saw his car?
Apparently they were traveling, and I guess bad luck would have it that she looked over and saw his vehicle at the post office and turned in there. And like I said, the witness said, I had no clue that she even had a gun in the car.
So it wasn't premeditated, she just happened upon him at the post office, is what we believe?
That's what we believe.
Do we know how long they were together? Did we say that at all? Okay.
I don't.
Okay.
Is there, I mean, you might not be able to speak to this. Can you tell us, speak to anything about the remains found Friday, the process leading through that? Anything new on that? The process, what's next?
I can't tell you. It appears to be a male. That's all I can tell you as far as that. We do believe it's murder. There was several, the skull had several gunshots to the skull. Pretty much the bones were intact. We recovered, I think, mostly all of them. The medical examiner now is doing their investigation, and hopefully we'll know the identity here soon.